Hello, welcome to this special Oscars episode. We watched the ceremony last night together live. So we're going to go through the main six categories of nominees and also winners, along with some snubs and surprises at the end. So stick around and let's get into it.
Right, Alex, how we doing?
Very good, Baz. Very
Cool.
good.
First time in person on the channel. So
Indeed.
and for a big
yeah,
occasion. So we stayed up
sure.
very late last night. We had the popcorn, we had the snacks, we were ready, we had the energy drinks, we were all coffeed up. First time for me watching the Oscars.
Indeed,
Obviously,
what
you're
yours?
an avid fan, aren't you?
Yes.
I mean, you've been watching it over the years.
First impressions?
Positive, very, very good.
Good.
I didn't know whether it was going to be very phony. I didn't know whether it was going to be a little bit woke, like you read about, but actually wasn't. I think Jimmy Kimmel, he did an outstanding job hosting. He was like the MC for everyone, wasn't he? I think he'd done Ricky Gervais proud because obviously in previous years Ricky Gervais was very outspoken, controversial, but Kimmel did just enough to get the crowd going and pull a few edgy jokes, I'd say.
Right.
It wasn't too politicized, was it? There wasn't too much stuff that was controversial in the way of speeches. Apart from the 20 Days in Mariupol acceptance speech, which won for best documentary.
Which won best documentary is well worth being a little bit political.
It has to be, doesn't it? It's to be expected. So I don't think
anyone
anyone can get their spikes up on their back about that. But just an enjoyable experience.
Absolutely, the show started 1 hour earlier, first of all, which is good. And then it didn't feel that long. They actually went through the categories really fast. And that's exactly what I liked, is the lack of politics. It was okay balanced.
Yes.
Previous years, some of the years we talked, every single winner was talking about something politically related or anything like that. This time it wasn't like that. I like the fact that some of the actors and the actresses just thanked the Academy and their peers in actually the craft of making a film,
because it is such a big stage, and I think actually some political statements do need to be made because it's such a wide audience. It's kind of like football. It's like footballers should use their stage to announce things, but you don't want it to take away from football. And likewise with the Oscars, you don't want it to be about other things in life. When we're here because of film, aren't we? So
So one of the best speeches was Best Actor, which actually leads us into exactly what you want to go. So you want to introduce us to the Best Actor?
Indeed. Okay, so we've got Best Actor category, in which we had Bradley Cooper in Maestro, Coleman Domingo in Rustin, Paul Giamatti, The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy in Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction. Quite predictably, I think everyone knew this was going to happen. Cillian Murphy took first prize with that, with quite a good acceptance speech, actually. I think we all like him because of his humbleness. But did you agree with the award, Alex? Did you think it was well deserved, or would you have liked maybe someone else to snatch that off him?
I mean, Cillian Murphy is just nailed that role. To be honest, it was not a surprise at all. Him winning, his speech was very candid. He's a very sort of shy person, humble person, and his speech was all about thanking Chris Nolan and all the team and all of that. And at the end, he said, we sort of live in a world that is similar to the world of Oppenheimer. So
here's to the peacemakers, isn't it? Which I thought was quite enigmatic of him, especially what the film's about.
I've rooted for him on my list, but who is your favourite on?
Well, I mean, Paul Giamatti holds a soft spot in my heart, but realistically, if you're talking about Best Actor, it's to have his name in the same sentence. It's considering the extent of the films, I think The Holdovers, I think it was said, we said it's a good Christmas film, isn't it? You know what I mean? I think that's a good way to describe it, really. You can imagine it being shown in the month of December.
Do you think it's because it was a comedy?
Yeah, because it was a comedy as well, wasn't it? And we were obviously watching the British version of the Oscars with Jonathan Ross, wasn't he? And he had a few guests on, and they were talking about the idea of comedy films, competing with big dramas, and what I mean, and it doesn't really meld. It's all the dramas are always going to get it, aren't they? Because it involves more emotion and more acting capability. So maybe the comedies should have their own, Oscar. Sort of, you know what I mean? I'm not sure.
Golden Globes do that. They do a best comedy and best comedy and musical. They have a category by
It's
itself,
a bit
which
weird
is interesting.
because Poor Things was described as a comedy by some of the other talk show hosts. I wouldn't describe it. I think we said that.
But how do you describe Poor Things anyway? It's just
it's
such
not
a,
in its own category.
Yeah.
Like, it's in its own category. I mean, what would you say? Yeah, alternative.
Yes,
You know, it doesn't make any sense.
It's weird in its own way. So yeah, but another strong category was the next big one, which is the best actress. So
Of course, yeah.
so let's go to the nominees for that.
Cool. Let's rock and roll.
Let's read these out. So, Best Actress in Lead Role, we've got Annette Bening for Naiad, Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon, Sandra Huller for Anatomy of a Fall, Carey Mulligan for Maestro, and Emma Stone for Poor Things. Emma Stone took it this time. Well deserved, actually, but I think Sandra Huller is a masterclass in acting for Anatomy of a Fall, which we both were hoping for. But there you go. That's the winner. What did you think?
Yeah, of course, Emma Stone, well deserved, huge role, challenging role for her, you know, with a crazy director. But I think obviously we were rooting for Sandra Huller, weren't we? Just because of both films she's been in, Zone of Interest and Anatomy of a Fall, which I've only just seen a week ago.
Fantastic in both.
Fantastic in both, and that, I don't know, that to me just seemed like a more complete role for Sandra in terms of, well, I think I'm being a little bit skeptical because of both of those films being so fantastic. Do you know what I mean?
True,
That she was in, so it's
yeah.
almost like she's doubled up, really.
Yes.
Whereas with Emma Stone, it's just for one feature film. But you know, good winner, 100%. You know, you're not going to argue with it.
Yeah.
Did you think anyone else on the list was?
I mean, I was
deserved a mention, or
I was a Sandra Huller fan too, obviously. But we were thinking Lily Gladstone.
Lily Gladstone was the one that was picked, wasn't it? But and this is why we're talking about it being political, because I think obviously she's got roots with the Native Indians, haven't we? So maybe in previous years in Oscars, if she won, and she might have got accused of that's why she would have won if she did win. Potentially,
she did win quite a few prizes before this. Awards before this.
This is a big one, though, wasn't it?
It was one that was between the two of them, but Emma Stone in the end, her speech, her acceptance speech was genuine.
She was shaking almost, wasn't she? Yeah.
She had nothing written or anything. She was genuinely probably not expecting
her dress was a little bit
had the dress malfunction too.
Yeah.
And it was just like all over the shop. But yeah, no, it was a good category. Emma Stone, well deserved. Yeah. Our favorite was Sandra Huller too, but compared to the next one, which is the best supporting actor, let's go with the nominees.
Should we get into it? Yeah. Okay, so best actor in supporting role. We've got Sterling K. Brown, American Fiction, Robert De Niro, Killers of the Flower Moon, Robert Downey Jr., Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling for Barbie, and Mark Ruffalo in Poor Things. And once again, Oppenheimer steals the show. Robert Downey Jr. got this one, which, again, slightly predictable. I would have preferred Mark Ruffalo just for the comedic elements in Poor Things. I think you opted for De Niro, didn't you, in Killers of the Flower Moon? They would have been equally good winners, but yeah, clearly the Academy wanted Robert Downey Jr. to win. So what did you think, Alex?
Robert Downey Jr. Worthy winner.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, to be honest.
And it wasn't unexpected. But
he's a very cool guy, isn't he? Yeah. Robert Downey Jr. It's kind of like the Alex Turner of the acting world, because I always think he seems really classy. He's very witty, very funny lines. Yeah. What did he say?
He just owned the stage. He was so chilled on stage.
What did he say? He said, first of all, I'd like to thank my terrible childhood. That's it. I think that was his opening line.
That was his opening line.
And it's just like Tony Stark winning an award. It's just very cool.
He just put on the suit, and then he was very cool. Yeah. But there were some strong nominees in there. I mean,
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling was strong.
For Barbie. We had Mark. My preferred one would have been Mark Ruffalo, but again, it's just because it's witty.
Mine was Robert De Niro. I just thought he was so evil. Yeah. And it's hard to play.
Evil in a way that he didn't do anything physical in the film. Correct. He's just this mastermind, isn't he?
Yes. There's nothing bombastic about the role, and like something like Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood. He's got these moments when he just goes crazy, and you can see that's what he's good for. But in this role, he's very contained, evil, just under the face
Bit
when
of
he
a, bit
looks
of a
at
puppet
you.
master, a little
Yeah,
bit, isn't
yeah,
he? You know
yeah.
what I
You
mean?
remember that scene where when he's in jail at the end and he looks through the bars and he tells Leonardo DiCaprio, "Are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure you want to do that?" It's just chilling, man.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah, he's still trying to be manipulative, even behind the bars.
Yeah. He's like, "Are you sure?" So that was a very good category, a very strong category. Similarly with the next one, which is the best supporting actress. So let's see the nominees.
Okay.
Right, best actress in supporting role. We've got Emily Blunt for Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks for The Color Purple, America Ferrera for Barbie, Jodie Foster for Naiad, and Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers, with Divine Joy Randolph winning the big prize. To be honest, our favorite here, my favorite, was Jodie Foster, but I think is well worth deserved this one for Divine Joy Randolph. What did you think?
Divine Joy Randolph, which is good that The Holdover's got an award. I think we'd all agree, because we all, it deserving of at least one, wasn't it? And I think if it was going to get anyone, it probably was this.
Yeah.
Even though it was a comedy, it was the only part of drama in the film which won them the award, essentially. So I think that's fair enough. We did have a few personal opinions, didn't we? We were both thinking Jodie Foster for Naiad.
We're rooting for Jodie.
Yeah, it just took her out of that film. It still would have been okay, but it's what made it that bit more special, wasn't it? Is her performance in that film. So I think she was the strongest candidate there. But not to take anything away from Joy Randolph, fair play to her. Anyone else in that category that you thought? I think we both didn't see The Colour Purple, so
we haven't seen
Daniela Brooks.
Daniela Brooks, yeah.
I mean,
I think those two were strong. America Ferrera in Barbie, I didn't feel she had enough space again on screen to show her skills.
Yeah, I agree with that massively.
There's a couple of moments. Well, there's one moment when she has a strong monologue about what women are and what they're supposed to be and how she disagrees with that, which is good, but I just don't think is enough. It's definitely worth the nomination, but I don't think it was enough. Who else was on that
Emily
list?
Blunt, Oppenheimer.
Emily Blunt, that's again the same thing. She's really good.
Yeah, but when you have Cillian Murphy and then you have
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. She almost gets a bit lost in that. I find, and that's why I thought when I saw that one, I was like, yeah, but not really going to win.
And I think the key moment, like the Oscar moment in that film, is when she sits down in the interrogation scene and she just literally grilled by the guy.
Yeah,
remember that one?
Yes.
So that, and then she just fights back, and that's the only time when you can see quality acting, because that's the only opportunity she had.
Yeah,
but so good. I think there's an Oscar in her future, because she's just like so
great,
comfortable.
she? Yeah,
she's fantastic.
Man. Yeah. So that probably throws us into our next one,
which is one of the big ones.
Yeah,
which is the best director.
Okay, so let's jump into it.
Cool.
So we have Justine Triet for Anatomy of a Fall, Martin Scorsese, Killers of a Flower Moon, Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer, Yorgos Lanthimos, Poor Things, and Jonathan Glazer for The Zone of Interest. And probably the most obvious award tonight would have been Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer. Any of the other films could have won for the director, but in the end, Nolan got it. So what did you think, Alex?
That was a big one. I think
Very difficult.
Incredibly difficult. Everybody said. I mean, the betting houses were saying Chris Nolan, but I mean,
do you think there's any chance it could have swung another way?
I mean, Jonathan Glazer film was like up there. I was hoping like that's gonna. But then you've got Martin Scorsese there, which is one of my favorite films of the year, and that's the one I was rooting for. I know he's got an Oscar already, and he wasn't, but that film is just ticks all the boxes for an Oscar film, Killers of the Flower Moon. So that was a strong I was rooting for it.
Anatomy of a Fall, did it stand a chance?
Anatomy of a Fall, Cannes winner, Palme d'Or winner, so usually it does that too. But then Poor Things is out of nowhere. If you look historically at this category, last year Everything Everywhere All at Once won, which is a very similar category of weirdness as Poor Things.
Yes, true.
So that could have been an upset, Poor Things, but Which one did you root it for?
Well, Zone of Interest, I think. To be honest, either one of these, I would have said Poor Things or Zone of Interest. I would have been surprised and happy with. But yeah, I think everyone knew it was a bookmaker's wet dream that Oppenheimer.
Well deserved. I can't see.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we've not taken anything away from it. Yeah, no, yeah,
film.
yeah, of course, not taking anything away from
Just
it.
personally,
Did we see it in IMAX as well?
No, we've seen it.
Sure.
Yeah, we went to Lincoln and saw Oppenheimer.
Okay,
but that was full on. And I mean that Oppenheimer got the other big. So you got also before this was announced, you got the cinematography, which is again works hand in hand with what the film should look like, and I think editing. If I'm not
is that the chap that came on stage with the trainers?
Yeah,
cinematographer. But once you win an award, it doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah.
Didn't you mention that he used to be homeless at one point as well, but a cinematographer?
I think we're struggling very in the beginning.
That sounds like a great story, doesn't it? To tell, yeah.
I think Hoyte van Hoytema is his name. So
I won't try and
say
it.
Very good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, very well worth it. But it was.
Well, that was quite a tense one. I thought that anyone who would have won would have been a worthy winner, but in the end, Oppenheimer steals the show again. So that brings us to another big one, doesn't it? What have we got for the next one?
Last but not least,
Best Picture.
Indeed.
Okay.
This was a big one, Baz. 10 nominees here, all good ones for Best Picture. We've got American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest, with the big award going to Oppenheimer, as again predicted, because he's been taking a lot of awards. But that was a tough one. What a long list of strong contenders here. Which one did you root it for?
To be truthfully honest with you, it's probably going to be a toss-up between three, Barbie, Oppenheimer, and then I'll probably say Poor Things. I don't think that's unfair to say. Neither of us saw Past Lives, did we?
I have seen it.
You've seen it, I didn't. Yeah, so I can't comment on that. But yeah, I think it was probably them three, but a fantastic selection. Sorry, I did forget Killers of the Flower Moon, probably top four, would have been.
I mean,
the rest of them, not really standing a chance against them. But
I mean, what a nice position to be in. Name another year in the past where I had so many strong
the quality is really high. Do you think next year we could be able to compete with what we've seen at this Oscars?
I think this was one of the biggest years in films, and I don't know if it's because of the pandemic and how that delayed all the strong films to land into this year.
It's like a lag of 3 years, 4 years, hasn't it?
But if you think about it, one of the biggest snubs, but maybe lack of presence in the awards was David Fincher's The Killer.
Yes, which obviously we reviewed and we were very we were praising quite high.
At least
you mentioned that. You mentioned that last night, and I just completely forgot, even though I've seen that film like 2, nearly 3 times. And I did because I don't know why. Do you think it's not Oscar worthy, or because I really liked it, but
me too. Well, remember when we reviewed it, we said the story is not quite as meaty as you'd want it to be. Maybe that's what it was. But even for the craft, cinematography and editing in that film, I think like editing, a masterclass.
Because can you think of a more squeaky clean film than that? You know, in terms of its sharpness and its proficiency, and it was just like as we said, I think when we reviewed it. Even the music, it's just like him in the film. It's efficient, isn't it? Which is an odd word to describe editing and filming, but it's efficient, isn't it?
But when you look at the whole year of films, there's every single big director, apart from Quentin Tarantino, has come out with a film this year. You've got like the big boys, Scorsese and David Fincher, and
and a few new boys,
Jonathan Glazer, Chris Nolan. All the big boys have come out with and strong films too, which is like, when do you ever get a chance like that again?
So it was actually some good competition overall. Did you think that overall the Oscars was good this year, and that everyone was deserved winners, and there was no?
I think it was.
Did you think obviously the big shock was probably just Lily Gladstone not winning Best Actress?
And then Barbie not winning more. I don't even think they won an Oscar.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
So they won the original song.
Yes.
Which is Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish.
One award. I
That's
think
more impressive for Billie Eilish though than
correct.
the film, isn't it? You know, so.
But I think Margot Robbie should have been nominated because she was really strong in
That was
that.
one of the snubs,
It
and
was one of the
Leonardo
snubs.
DiCaprio obviously
Leonardo
didn't get
DiCaprio
nominated.
completely not even invited.
He
Not
wasn't there,
invited.
was he?
He wasn't even there.
No,
Yeah, not even invited. But I mean, he's been there for the.
Did you enjoy the smaller Oscars as well? So like the one for sound, for instance, because that's what Zone of Interest got.
Zone of Interest got
there was
that.
another one that we were interested in as well. Obviously, we have the cinematography one and stuff like that. You know, the smaller awards this year, which we haven't commented on yet.
Yeah, but also the documentary is something that I think we should go and look into because there's some strong.
20 Days in Mariupol. Yeah, I want to watch that anyway. I think you've already seen it, haven't you?
I haven't seen it, no, but last year's Navalny also is a good one to watch too. Last year's
recent events, yeah.
To
be fair, both of those together would be interesting. I know they're not completely related, but obviously they both involve Russian politics, don't they?
But overall, very good show. No screw ups, nothing weird.
No.
Jimmy's kept it under control.
Yeah.
It felt shorter than usual, which meant nobody went too hungry and everybody went to the bar.
No dragging out after long speeches or anything. So for a first time Oscar view, that was I'll watch it again next year now.
Perfect. Good. Well, thank you for your thoughts today, sir.
Yeah,
and,
give it here,
time.
Alex.
Yeah.
Cheers for watching today, guys. It's been really fun to film this, so please like and subscribe and give us a bit of feedback on how you like the setup today with me and Alex both being in person. And we'll see you again next time.